if we installed that would have been a janky system.
Sam was cracking me up on the phone with that guy, man.
I was pissed, because he's like, the way to regen it and flush it out before you install it was so weird. He was like, you gotta stick a hose bib on each side and flush it with a garden hose, and I'm like, I'm not
I'll
doing
make
any
sure I
of
don't
that
talk
janky
to that
stuff.
guy anymore.
I'm
Okay.
like, I'm gonna hook up a hose bib and nothing.
So, just a little bit, I want to talk a little bit about Finn today. And I want to talk a little bit about Pro Squad. Okay, so we are up on our Pro Squad members, okay? So what that means is we are listed on their website as a provider in this area, okay? And we also, the product, the Finn product is listed on the website for $850. I believe we pay $700 for that, for the unit. So as far as pricing goes, that's kind of the way you got to set that up. The one thing, there's some benefits to being a Pro Squad member, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to see, this is a really nice handout. I'm going to see about getting our company information right here. On the inside there. So this is a real simple install, by the way. That's all you need is a couple of unions, and it's got a 15-foot extension cord, and that's it. And then you set it up. So I want to talk a little bit about how this works and what makes it unique and different from everything else. So you cannot go into Ferguson and buy this, okay? You can't go into any supply house and buy this. You can't get it anywhere except from Finn, okay? So even the consumer has to go through Finn to get one of these, all right? So it's not like the consumer can just go out and grab one. Now the benefit of having us install it and purchase it is they get up to $3,000 applied to their deductible in the event of water damage from a flood, okay? So what that means is, let's say we put one in and somehow, some way it doesn't shut the water off, or it didn't work, or blah, blah, blah. They're gonna get $3,000, the homeowner, to apply to their insurance. In other words, if the deductible's $3,000, then Finn's gonna pay their deductible. Now the homeowner has to pay that out of pocket, and then Finn will reimburse the homeowner. The homeowner has to show receipts that they actually had water damage, yada yada. They also have to show that it was installed by the Pro Squad, okay? Without us installing it, that means a Pro Squad team, without us doing it, that benefit doesn't exist, okay? The other benefit that exists by being a Pro Squad member is that we get a extended warranty. So the warranty is 2 years. So we get a 50% bump and it goes to 3 years, okay? So that's an extra year warranty, which is also provided that we install it properly, of course. And there's some restrictions about this. So this product can be installed horizontally or vertically, okay? It can be outdoors. Doesn't have to be enclosed, okay? If you have the electrical, obviously that needs to be tight, the electrical part. The cord can be exposed to elements, but the actual part where you plug in has to have a shield over it for rain and sprinklers, etc. So that's not a problem at all. So I want to talk a little bit about what makes Finn different. Finn operates on sound. Okay, so everything, sound creates a signal, if you will, a footprint, or a fingerprint that's unique. Every sound is different from another sound, right? There are no two same sounds anywhere. So they took that principle and they applied it to water and water leaks. So Finn can tell the difference between when you flushed a toilet and when you turned on a shower. It can even tell the difference between one toilet and another toilet. Okay? So it will tell you, let's say for an example, let's say you have a leaky flapper. And we had this happen in here. We got a $400 water bill. And because what happened was a really weird one, was the flapper was intermittently leaking. Like you take a piss and flush the toilet and the thing would shut off. And then all of a sudden it would start running and the ball cock would come on and start refilling the tank. And I got a bill for $400. Okay? And I was like, what? We don't have a leak. And sure enough, I went into the bathroom and I found it. You know, and we're plumbers, right? We're using that every day. A couple of months go by.
Nobody noticed.
And we didn't even notice ourselves, okay? So if that's the case, then how observant is the homeowner going to be, right? So even from a water saving perspective, this will pay for itself. That alone, just water consumption alone, this will pay for itself. Because the homeowner is going to be able to identify a leak before they incur any cost, typically. So the smallest leak will be found, and here's why. This is unique. This is the only product that will do this, and this is really important. How many of you have done a pressure test on a house before? Okay. So a pressure test, what that involves is you put a hose bib on, the gauge on a hose bib, turn the water on, you can see the pressure, right? Then you turn the water off, and the pressure either stays or it drops. If the pressure in the gauge drops, you have a leak. It could be a toilet, could be a slab leak, could be a pinhole in a wall, but it's a leak, right? So that's what this does every day. It's like having a plumber show up at your house and doing a pressure test every day. So, but that's not the only thing it does. Now, what it will do in the event that it does not hold pressure, in other words, it has a pressure drop, and it's normally going to do this like 2 in the morning. It's not going to shut off when you're in the shower, ideally. That's why they have these set up. You know, they set it up to do it and program this, just like a thermostat. You program it to do that, perform that test in the wee hours of the morning. So, and this product has AI, artificial intelligence, okay? So it learns behavior.
Wow.
Right? Yeah. So it learns your behavior. And it knows, it starts to learn, okay, that's a shower. Okay, that's a toilet. Okay, you know, and it'll also learn, like when you're filling a tub, it can be programmed to, you say you have an 80-gallon tub. If you go to 81, it'll shut the house off. Okay, so you know, because it knows that, hey, that tub's overflowing. Unless the drain's open, we got a problem, right? So it learns that much, and it takes a little period of time for it to understand what all the different sounds are, but it'll figure it out over a period of time on its own. What will happen too, if it detects a problem, it's going to send you a text message, okay, to your phone. You can set it up to send it even to your plumber's phone. If, let's say, this is a vacation rental property, that you don't want to send it to the tenant, and you live in another state, let's send it to my plumber, and my plumber will be notified, and my plumber will handle it for me. Okay, so you can set it up that way as well, and it just has to be tied into the obviously the internet signal in the house.
The Wi-Fi mobile app will help you with that.
Yeah, you have to have the Wi-Fi mobile app, right? So the other, let's see, what else? So again, on the pressure test, let me go back a little bit. If it notices a pressure drop, it's going to send you a text message, and it's, hi, this is Finn. we detected a leak in your home. Do you want me to shut your water off? Okay, no, it's gonna ask you that question. If you hit yes, it will shut your water off.
Well,
Just like that, okay? The other nice thing about that pressure test, by the way, what happens when a valve isn't turned off, on and off for years?
it's stuck.
They get stuck, right? So this thing is constantly, every day, testing itself, whether it works or not, okay? Because the competition, right, and there's a lot out there now, the competition is basically, hey, it'll shut off if there's ever a leak, right? Really? And so months or even years could go by, and is that valve gonna stick with our hard water coming in? Because this is before your water treatment, typically, okay? So you want it set up before the water treatment. So you've got full chloramines, you've got hard scale, right? And that's where the beauty of this comes in, is it's not metal. Okay, it's high density plastics that are built to withstand that you're not going to get scaled up on, basically, in this application here. So, also, by the way, in the event that this fails, there's a little tool inside the unit that you could turn the water back on and off, okay, manually. So if you lose power, whatever, the thing was shut down for whatever reason, you could turn your water
It's
back
actually
on.
right there in the photo. If you guys look at that little pamphlet,
It's like a little magnet.
that little bottom piece,
It's
right on
stuck
the
on it.
cover.
Or no, it's not
See that
there.
little
You
blue, see
clip
that
it
little blue
in.
piece at the bottom?
Yeah.
Joe, we'd put
Oh,
one in
on
with
top of the
me.
fin.
Yeah.
Look at that
Yeah.
side. It's-
We ran into
It's that
one
one's on
issue,
the-
there was a router
That-
issue,
that's
that the
cool.
router needed to be upgraded.
The tool's always with the
Okay.
pocket on the outside. too.
Yeah, we couldn't get it.
But that wasn't on us, that was her
Yeah,
router,
I've,
Yeah.
almost never installed the
She
first
got it
one, actually,
upgraded.
set up the
Yeah.
mobile
and
app.
that's it.
Yeah.
Mobile
So.
app.
So anyway, in home automation, by the way, man, it's going off. It's just going off big time, right?
The house doing everything for you, kind of.
Yeah.
The house, like,
Yeah.
doing all that.
So, so you got to familiarize yourself with the installation process. I suggest you go to the website and study up, and I can give you guys. I think there's going to be an employee access. So I'll talk to Finn and get that information, because there's multiple websites, and then there's a website you log into as a Pro Squad member. And then they have training videos and stuff like that that you guys can access, because and you can also make purchases as well. If you need to order one, you can go ahead and purchase it, but you're still gonna need a credit card and all that, you know, for that. So a little bit about the industry itself, this whole leak detection industry. So I'm in a house right now with 4 tanklesses, okay? It's a big house. I feel like I'm in a freaking hotel. It doesn't seem that big when you're in it, but when you start crawling the attic and you're seeing 1.5 inch water, copper lines, and tanklesses everywhere, and these tanklesses are combination boilers. They're also heating the home, right? So it's not like this is a basic Navien, nah. This is a full-on combi where it's heating the water in the house, and it's also, so there's 2 inlets and 2 outlets on these things, because they're dual purpose. They're heating the home. And anyway, long story short, it's a big house, and they had a form of this throughout the house. Just had it installed, and they've got multiple sensors everywhere in the house, because this will not work in anything more than 1.25 inch single family residence, right? So it does have some limitations, and it's important that you don't promise somebody something that you can't deliver. As an example, Albubian, I think his water line's either 1.5 inch or 2 inch, something like that.
1.5 inch.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah,
Oh,
so we
yeah.
can't put it in there, but we have an alternative. So we're gonna need to get familiar with the alternatives as well. and I'll be training you guys on that as well. So so anyway, the other thing is there's some things I want to mention to you as well. This kind of ties into steam. So let's say in a house like this, for example, that I just described, he's got 4 steam generators in the house, okay? None of them have drain pans, okay? And they're all hidden. You'd never know where they are. Like, yeah, it's like part of the wall comes out. You know, it's trippy, right? You've seen it, yeah. But none of them have drain pans, and I'm like, holy crap, this guy just spent a shit ton of money. And because, by the way, his insurance company made it mandatory, we're not going to insure your property unless you do this, right?
Okay.
So now the insurance company, now this guy, he has to get this done, right? So now he's just been through the process with another company. He knows, holy crap, because I'm sure he's had plenty of water damage in a house this size, right? Where everything is just hidden. I mean, I'm talking, everything in this house is steel beams. There's no wood in this house, none, right? Like, it's freaking amazing. This house is just blowing me away. Just,
That is so crazy.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's super off the hook, like amazing. So anyway, so I noticed, okay, drain pan, no drain pan, right? And I started thinking to myself, well, I am the contractor. How am I going to help my homeowner? How am I going to protect him? Okay, he spent all this money, yet, you know, this is just sitting here ready to go. Nobody's going to see it, right? So anyway, so what I thought was, okay, the best I can do under a scenario like that is, because just a little FYI, he has a whole house RO system, okay? And, you know, the little tank you see under the sink is that big and that wide.
Gee,
Okay.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Super size.
So, yeah.
I want to do gallons.
So what also is happening is he's got these tubes running from there all the way out to all the fixtures where he could drink water anywhere in the house. But he also has it feeding his steam generator.
Crazy.
Okay?
Right.
So it's treated water coming into a steam generator, which is awesome. You know, there's no need for filtration or anything. He does have soft water, but this is before the soft water. In other words, this is an RO system for the whole damn house. You know, so yeah, it's crazy.
That's designated lines, right?
Yeah, designated lines
So
to
that's
various
another
places.
system, yeah.
Right. They're all these dedicated lines, and it looks like, I don't know if you've ever been to a restaurant and seen a bundle of these tubes going. Yeah, that's what it's like in his house. It's just bundle of tubes just
Any of
going.
those glycol loops for a beer chiller or something?
Yeah, right.
It's like that old school, you walk down like a submarine and they had this giant thing of wires, just
Yeah.
on his is too.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I was like, going, my God, you know, it's just, that's why I told him I have to spend a few days in your house figuring it out, you know,
Do they
getting
have
the lay of the
chases
land.
for you to crawl next to all the pipes too?
Oh, no, you're crawling steel beams and just hanging, yeah, it's crazy, crazy
I
stuff.
want to go. That sounds fun.
It is, you're gonna love
You
it.
just want to find the next Al Booby on.
No, this is like,
I wanted to go monkey bars on someone's
Yeah.
house. That's what I'm.
this is crazy stuff. Oh yeah, and he has a sprinkler system, so when you're crawling around in there, that orange PVC, it's like, stay away.
Tick, tick,
Oh,
tick,
those,
tick,
those,
tick,
that's
tick,
not
tick,
the next
tick,
beam
tick.
to use.
Oh man, yeah, just stay away from that stuff. Oh my God, it's everywhere throughout this house.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. So anyway,
It's gonna be a bad day.
getting back to this steam unit. So I thought to myself, okay, I'm gonna put basically what they have now, but you know, because they have them. There's multiple big lines coming into this house, and they have like 1.25 inches here, and then, you know, off of a 2-inch line, and then 1.25 inches there, feeding that part of the house. So they've got these multiple sensors all over the place, right? So I thought, well, I'm going to do it on a small scale, This is 3/8 coming in to the steam generator. So I'll probably find a 1/2 inch one. I'll put the sensors down on the floor, one in the pan and one around, because you've got the tubing, you know, the John Guest fittings. You know what happens with those. I just touched it
Yeah.
and it started spraying. I just went like this and I was like, what was that? Right? So it was ready to flood this guy's house, right?
Yeah.
So even if we do put in new with John Guest, which is what we're doing now, you still have the potential there that it's not going to go in a pan, right? It never does. So they have these strips that you lay down around the piping so that that will shut the water off at that fixture. Okay, so you're going to have an automatic valve now that will shut that water off at that particular fixture. Because nobody's ever going to see it
Right.
until there's, you know, $15,000 worth of damage. That's the way it's going to go. So he's highly motivated. I told him about that, and he's like, well, yeah, we got to have that. You know, so I already got a steam generator. I got the whole damn building, by the way, and he's got 6 air conditioners that need to be replaced out of the 8 or 9 that he has.
When do we show up?
You had plumbers in there that couldn't figure it out. They just
They're just
They
They don't wanna spend
they
the
don't
time.
answer their phone anymore.
That's the problem.
He calls.
They don't wanna
Everybody's
spend
looking for the easy
time
button,
doing
dude. Nobody
everything that
wants to do
Kevin's
the
doing right
diagnosis.
now.
Maria the maid, she asked me yesterday, she's very broken English. Kevin, what is your phone number? I'm like, and I gave it to her. She said, Tom wants me to call you anytime there's a problem in the house. So I need your phone number because I'm the one that makes all the decisions. So, yeah, so just like that, right?
Sign
So
you.
now I'm in their phone, you know, so if anything goes wrong in that house, boom, Kevin, right? So this is a house that you guys are all gonna have to become familiar with anyway. But what I wanted to say is kind of this ties into the steam a little bit in that we need to protect when we're putting in steam generators or looking at them. We need to come from that perspective, is the homeowner's property protected here? Something goes wrong, okay? So that's the type of thing that we need to consider as well. Also, if you do have RO systems, I just want to touch on this a little bit. We can get those units for under the sink. They make them for RO systems, by the way. That will shut the RO system down in the event of moisture is detected underneath the kitchen sink. Because ROs are notorious because of the John Guest fittings that they will begin to leak. So anyway, and this all ties into HVAC, by the way, because this house, by the way, has Unico systems. For those of you who don't know what a Unico system is a high velocity furnace air conditioner, if you will. And what I mean by high velocity is the ductwork is 2 inches in diameter, right?
Okay.
And it runs down a 7-inch trunk, okay? And they tap it. They just tap it with these 2-inch ducts, and so it's pressurized from end to end evenly. And so what happens is when you turn the heat or the cooling on, you just get air coming out of these little, the register is this big, okay, with a 2-inch hole in the middle of it. That's all you see. There's no louvers, no nothing, right?
Yeah.
That's
It
all
is
you.
expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These things are intense as far as working on them and everything. But here's the thing, here's how they heat. It's not gas heat. It's hydronic systems on steroids. Okay? Yeah,
On steroids.
on steroids.
No wonder
it's-
no one will touch his AC
Yeah,
system.
it's not, yeah, it's just.
When do I show up?
It's a step up from hydronics, okay? So really, that's all it is you got a heating coil, a cooling coil, just like hydronics. It's just high pressure or high velocity. So the fan motors are designed in such a way that the air pressure is significant coming through these tubes. That's why you can feed I think up to 2,000 square feet out of a 7-inch tube. Okay, because you guys are used to 14-inch.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Sucks.
right? And the
14 inch is 800 CFM, so even that you're.
Right. Now, just a
2000.
little, I don't want to get off topic here, but a little reason why they use that is because space.
Yeah.
I was in a $40-some million home in Emerald Bay, one of 16 houses on the beach, okay, in Emerald Bay.
Oh.
$40-some million, I think Renards did a duct cleaning there, if you remember that house. They have Unico systems in there, okay? So this is the kind of house that you're gonna see that in. That's the shit you see in hotels, okay?
Right.
Like resorts and shit like that. So,
High efficiency systems. Or
Yeah.
Way on the beach has got the setup.
High velocity, high static.
yeah, high velocity, high static, right.
Small dump.
So, I was fortunate in the fact that I've designed a few of these systems, the Unico systems, and I said I'll never do another one again. And because they're that difficult to
They're
design. They're not hard to work on. Don't let me, scare you. Once they're designed and designed properly, that was the hard part. And installing's a bitch too. But to get, even cooling, there's a lot of math involved, a lot of engineering. But once it's designed and it's in, that's all you gotta do is maintain the equipment and replace it. Simple, okay? But I want you guys to start thinking about, like, Renars, when you guys, Ryan, Mike, when you guys go in the attic, you're always thinking water damage, right? Because you've seen what screwed up drain lines can do. And we're putting in sensors, right, to stop the water from getting any further if there's potential damage, right? And that's all this is, okay? So this is just that applied to a different, a different way. That's all it is. So, but I want you guys to become very, very informed with this, because right now, when you think about this, everybody needs one, and next to nobody has them, all right? And it will come to a place, and trust me on this, where insurance companies will make it mandatory. They may offer some sort of incentive, like, hey, we'll lower your premiums, or we'll give you this kind of a discount or something like that. But there will be a time when this will become mandatory, and it's coming soon. All right. So this is no longer a. And by the way, this isn't new technology, okay? In the sense that this is probably 6th or 7th generation, if you will. This company is new in the process that they're using, because everybody was working on flow and different things, water temperature. They'd have little wheels, in their device, and if they began to spin, that would trigger an alarm, and it would shut your system down, and it could have just been a flapper, right? Yeah. So you could have been in the middle of a shower, all of a sudden, boom, something, Yeah, and there are times, anything goes over 20 minutes, the water just automatically shuts off. So if your daughter decides to take a 25-minute shower, yeah, it just shuts off.
Well, that doesn't sound like too bad of an idea. Then.
Yeah, no, but this doesn't do that, okay? So they've worked out all of the problems. So this is what I'm saying, is this isn't like first generation shit, and people have that objection to, it's not, I'll wait a few years to see how the technology develops. No, this is 5th, 6th, generation now. This has been going on for several years at least, and you know how technology moves. These guys are absolutely in front, no question about it. Absolutely in front.
So with the fin, that one's the one that just listens to the pipe work, right? There's not a flow valve or anything that's in the water stream at all. It's just sitting there listening.
Yeah. So what this does, it listens. Okay, it listens to the water signature. Okay, because every fixture has its own signature as far as sound. If it hears anything abnormal, it's going to send you a text to your phone. Could be you the plumber, it could be you the homeowner. You get to make that choice. How it's going to be set up with the homeowner. It could be both, I guess, too. But it does turn the water off every day. It does a pressure test on the house to see if the pressure drops. Okay, just like you guys do on air conditioners. Yeah, it'll do that. And it's pretty badass because then it turns itself back on. And it sends you a text and says, hey, I detected a leak. Do you want me to shut your water off? Yeah. And you have the chance. You could just hit yes from your phone. And it'll shut the water off to your house. That's super. These things, like somebody who has vacation properties, somebody who has rentals, right? Somebody who has rentals. And something I didn't touch on.
I think it takes us too often.
This thing watches your water usage, so it tells you how much water you've used.
Oh.
Okay. So
How do we turn that feature?
It logs
That's
it. It logs it just like the water test. It'll
Yeah.
have it in the app, and you can see every time it tests what your pressure is, and then the same thing with the water. It'll log your usage every single day.
yeah.
Wow.
So you can go back and look at it.
So yeah, and I'm telling you, 90% of what this does doesn't take place in any of the other products.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. This is the shit. And yeah, no, I'm serious. Yeah,
This right here.
yeah,
It's
And-
called fins.
yeah. No, this is the real deal. As soon as I can afford this, I want it.
Right.
Even though my house has been repiped, I want this.
Yeah.
I really want this
Legit.
for a lot of reasons. And right now, the biggest thing about that's going on right now in California since January of this year is the new laws regarding water consumption. And I don't know if you guys have been there yet, but I've tried to purchase some things from Kohler, not available in California. Will
Right.
not ship
Right.
to California.
Right.
That's
You
insane, yeah.
literally have to, if you want something that
They're
can't be
serious.
purchased, you have to ship it to somebody you know in another state. And then they have to ship it to you
Yeah.
to skirt the law.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how, California, that's the direction that it's going. And I'm telling you right now, it ain't gonna get better, it's gonna get worse, all right? So this is an answer to a lot of problems out there. And absolutely, if you guys familiarize yourself with this product and you educate your homeowner on this product, you will be amazed at the response you're gonna get. Because already, everybody knows somebody who's had a slab leak, right?
Right.
Or pinhole leak, right? Okay, and everybody knows that those people are just like ticking time bomb, and they're just worried that they're gonna get their insurance canceled, right? Because they know they've had 2 claims already, and the agent already told them, the company told them that, hey, we need to boost your premium, your deductible, right? From 5,000 to 10. Some of these homes, by the way, their deductibles are 20 grand. Yeah, so if you have an incident, it's 20 grand. Talk about motivation, that's Al Bubian, and he knows it. He told me his deductible was 20 grand. Okay, on a house like that.
Michelle Zing's is like way up there too. Like,
Exactly.
25 or
So-
I don't know.
So these are the homes, yeah, these are the
It's like
homes.
70 grand or.
These are the homes that, for sure, those people get it. Like, I do not want to use my insurance company.
Yeah.
Because the smaller home where, my deductible's 500 because they haven't had an incident yet, they might not be as motivated, okay? But the individual who's, looking at a 20 grand, like, Al Bubian had to do that. He told me, he goes, yeah, dude, I had to write a check for 20 grand. Just to get the insurance to cover the flood he had. So I know for a fact you call Al, he's gonna buy this. He's not
Because
gonna,
you offer it in the right size pipe.
he's not gonna buy
I would wanna
this.
put this in the.
Yeah, you
I'm
would-
convinced on this. Too.
Yeah, I know, this
This
is
is
just,
like the shit.
this
like
is the
you said.
shit. This is so
The
much better than
flow
everything
logic will
else.
shut off your water sometimes on some,
Yeah.
Right.
minor
It's
stuff.
the Cadillac.
Right,
And we've installed some flow logics before,
right.
but
They're good too.
Right
They're
now-
the second best.
right now we don't have a choice.
Right.
For that one. We're probably gonna have to go to the Flow Logic or the Water Cop. One of those products that don't have any restrictions as far as inlet size.
Yeah.
But I'm just telling you, this is such an awesome opportunity because we're in the home, we're seeing the need, nobody has this product. Half the time they're not really even aware what can be done. But people are all, they're getting used to the artificial intelligence in their home and in their workplace. And so this isn't like Space Odyssey or anything out there. This is something that we all interface with every day, right? Every day, people are more and more receptive to what they can and can't do, with something as simple as this. It's just amazing. And I can tell you right now, anybody who, if you take the time to explain this to the customer, they're going to say how much. The magic question, how much? Because they're going to want it in their house. They're going to want that protection in their home. So do your due diligence. I will begin to study further some of what I'm seeing out in this guy's home and how that system works, and then we'll settle in on a product that we're going to use under the counter for RO systems or wherever we see John Guest fittings, in those applications, because they're dangerous. That's all I can say is John Guest fittings are dangerous. But it's kind of one of those things that you almost have to have them, because of the way RO systems are set up and such. So anyway, any questions on this? Shit, we went long.
What's the rough pricing on that installed, just your basic?
Well, how many hours would you say, Sarah, on the average house?
Probably like 2 hours.
Yeah, it's pretty simple.
Yeah.
I would say worst case scenario, you might have 4 hours.
4 hours.
That would be
Like,
worst
you're
case.
plumbing it in.
So you plumb into your calculator 2 to 4 hours, right? Oh, by the way, I put this in the price book.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, perfect.
So everything, what I did was so everything on this page here, what I did was I copied it to the Service Titan.
Sweet.
So the same verbiage that's right here is in Service Titan, and the warranty. Okay. So it's all in there. There's also a price in there. I think I based it on, I can't remember what I based it on, either 2 or 4 hours. It was one of the two, plus the cost of materials. I added an extra $50 just for copper and crap, So I think I ran it at $750 in material. But anyway, because they're always going to change. Every application is going to be a little bit different. The other thing I want to talk about really quickly on this is customer retention. Okay, if they get a text like, hey, you got a leak, who do you think they're going to call?
Guys who put it in.
The guys who put it in, right? It's pretty much automatic. So what we're going to do is, I don't want to put stickers right on here, but I was thinking
They have a spot in the center here.
huh?
They have a spot in the center here.
Yeah, I know, but this is going to get lost.
Fair enough.
So I'm thinking on the pipe, I'm thinking of, call Kalka, with a phone number on there, something like that on the pipe, or a tag on the cord, right where the cord comes out, and just one of those, you can kind of fold over the cord
Yeah, that'd be
like
nice.
that, and with our name or phone number,
The
call this
wall
number.
heaters that
Huh?
we just put in, actually, one of the things I just thought about is you can get laminated cards, just like our lockout tags, they're like this big.
Mhm.
The wall heater that we just put in at Mark Berry had that attached with just a little chain to the gas valve. And that's another thought maybe, because then you just kind of hook
Yeah.
it over the pipe and it just lays there. And you can have kind of some quick fax things for that customer, whatever it may be.
Mhm.
Water shutoff's located here, or our name and number, like, because then it just kind of looks like a nice little attachment that came with the product.
Yeah,
That fold over sticker would work too,
Yeah.
same idea.
yeah, something like that. We're gonna develop something like that. So your ideas, whatever you guys want to come up with, if you see something out in the field that you think would be good, let me know. But yeah, this is these will typically be going in for, I would imagine, the least amount would probably be $2,000, and so between 2,000 and 3,000 would be somewhere in the ballpark. You know, but remember what I said about you go into every house and there's $2,000 worth of work. Yeah.
Oh,
At least.
if you look, you'll find it.
Yeah, you will find it. It's there.
Walking in the
And
Garlands.
honestly, you guys on the HVAC side, you really don't have to. You don't really have to be a plumber to sell this,
No.
right? I mean, you're a consumer like anybody else. You've seen water damage, you know, and you know, hey, you know, not only do we prevent the water damage in your attic from your condensate drain, but we also have this other product. If you'd like, I can get our most awesome plumber out here and have a chat with you about this. You know, this is a new product. Nobody else has it. It's freaking amazing. Talk to them about a little bit. Yeah.
If I didn't live in an apartment, I'd buy one.
Right? I mean, who wouldn't want this? Once you understand what the power of what it does and everything else, and so you know, who made this product was Upanor and Belkin. You guys familiar with Belkin? Okay? So Belkin is huge in technology and the computer side of things. And Upanor, you guys know, is the shit when it
Upanor's
comes
killing
to.
it.
Huh?
Upanor is killing it.
Yeah, they're crushing it.
Packs and
Those guys are badass.
other stuff.
Dude, they invited me to
Level.
Vegas. I don't know if I told you guys,
They're
but
smart.
they sent me to Vegas with my wife in this badass hotel. Like I'm not joking.
These are all really
And
good.
Want to take 2 kids with you?
in the seminars
Bring
in the
your kids
morning,
along.
right? You go to these seminars in the morning. They were pouring mimosas, right?
Kevin's like,
Sold,
I'm in.
sold.
And Bloody Marys, man. That was like, and then they threw this extravagant party at the hotel next door. They rented out a whole outdoor deck with a little nightclub in it, and they had they were spinning records and people walking around with waiters with drinks. They were serving like shrimp and tri-tip and all this food. There were jacuzzis at the tables where, like these personal jacuzzis all over the rooftop and everything with glass so you can like see into the jacuzzi. You're sitting at this booth and there's a jacuzzi right there. There's people party. Yeah, this is the party that Upanor threw. I mean, they had to drop some bank on this, and I didn't pay for anything. I just, it was so awesome. Like this company, and I mean, they got some serious money behind this. So yeah. It was.
So how do us hydronic guys get invited to this party?
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. I've been blown away by this company. From day one, the product. When they revealed the product, that was like a year and a half ago or something when they revealed it to us. And I was the first group, of contractors. Maybe there were 200 contractors there. I was one of 200 companies across the nation. Jeez. Yeah. That was it. So that's why I'm saying it pays to study. And you know where they found me, by the way? You know how they found me? Because they found me. I didn't find them. And because nobody even knew that product was out there. They emailed me about their product. They found me on FlowLogic's website. Okay, that's the power of like I said, learn.
So they're poaching off of the other guy.
Well, yeah.
I don't
Where
blame
else do you
I
buy it
mean,
from?
here's a guy who's already taken the time to figure out that this is a product that's necessary in our society, right? And so of course I was a natural, right? Then of course I was still at Ben Franklin at the time too, so they're thinking that, and that's why. And I got the email. I said yes. They called me up. And they said, hey, this is the deal. Why don't you take this test, send us all your information, license, insurance, all that good stuff, send it all. Yep, you're good. Here's the thing, we're having a party, we'd like to invite you, and then the way we went, it was pretty cool. But that's what I'm saying, just paying the price, for educate yourselves, man. Set yourselves apart from everybody else out there, and it's just, you just, Oh, I have to tell you this. God, I'm late.
Don't worry about it. We're all good.
So I'm talking to Thomas yesterday, right? And he's like, he always calls me when it's slow. And he's like, dude, what's going on out there? And I said, I don't know, man. I said, but I am slammed right now. I He said, we didn't have enough plumbers yesterday and we're buried on HVAC. Like we got a week's worth of stuff to do ahead of us and we're buried this week. He goes, are you kidding me? And I said, no. He goes, dude, we can't buy a call. Now he's working for NextGen. He's like, yeah. He goes, we are freaking out. He goes, everybody's freaking out because we're getting, he's manager at NextGen in Riverside, right? He goes, they're sending, other companies are sending their employees to NextGen to see if we could keep them busy for a while because everybody's dead. That's crazy. And he said, and Rusty called from WeCare, okay? I don't know if you guys know, but WeCare is a very large company in Riverside, okay? Rusty called the owner of NextGen wondering what the hell is going on because they're so slow, right? And we're slammed. And we have these opportunities in front of us. So it's all, you know, I'm just saying, put that in perspective. So, and this typically is March, April, the slow months, right? And we're slammed. So, blessings.
Yeah,
right?
March, because everyone's waiting for their tax return for their pull the
Yeah,
trigger.
no, we're very, very fortunate and very blessed to be in the position we're in right now. Yeah. So, take advantage of every call you have. Just break it down to the homeowner, man, and just you know, go for it. Go for it. So, anyway, that's it for today. I'm sorry I went so late. That's it. Any questions on anything? Okay, awesome.
All right. How's the garden?
How's your day?
Doing good.
Slam.
Almost done with that, eh?
Huh?